What's going on, guys? In this video I want to go over how I'm making about $200 a month trading options, and I kind of want to show you how I'm looking at the market every week and what I'm seeing from the market, kind of show you what how I start every week and how I predict what I think the market's going to do, and then kind of how I'm basing my strategy around that. So primarily I trade credit spreads, and basically every month I'm able to make a return of around $200. I'll get into that at the very end, kind of showing the last few months and how I've done basically. So here's kind of what I normally do to start the week. I kind of look at how everything's kind of played out over the last couple of weeks. So this is obviously SPY. SPY is the most liquid underlying that you're going to have in terms of stock and in terms of options. So this is primarily what I trade and look at. So what we've seen over the last month is, and obviously if you're in the market, you're well aware of this, is that we've had a lot of big dips and the market's kind of pulled back in here. So we had a high here of around $450 for SPY, and we've pulled all the way back into 437, it looks like, and even as low as 428. So these down opportunities, at least for my strategy, allow for a lot of good opportunities, because you see a really big spike in volatility, and they're obviously option pricing. If you know anything about option pricing, when the VIX goes up, your options are going to be priced more effectively, basically, for you to profit on them. So in a lot of these little swings, you can secure a lot of good profit. So what we've done and what we've seen is, like I said, the market kind of reversing here, and it looks like kind of consolidating. Over the last week, we've kind of had fears on job reports, as well as interest rates hiking. We've got some news down here that Google shows, but basically what I'm looking at is the market and how everything is kind of changing. So we've seen it kind of spike back up into this range in here. I would kind of expect it to keep consolidating. It seems like there's kind of support down in here. This is around 430, and you don't really have any definitive, I guess, support. You've got a little over here in the around 440, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So that could act as some resistance to the upside. So we'll kind of have to see how the week plays out. I'll probably, if we have a big down day on Monday, I'll probably throw a couple trades in and obviously secure or put in some, basically secure really low strikes for a decent amount of profit, which I'll get into a little bit later. But what you'll see is kind of along those same lines as the market dropped, as I was talking about earlier, you see the VIX spike up. So we have seen kind of decent VIX that we haven't seen for quite a while. It's been relatively low, kind of under 20. I like when it goes above 20 to put trades on. So I put a lot of trades on here when it was above 20, around 25. And then I also, the last week or so, I've put on a lot of trades and as well taken off some trades. Again, which I'll show you in a little bit. So VIX is relatively high. What I'd expect is if we see the market pull back on Monday or Tuesday, obviously I'd expect VIX to go again above 20, and I have some cash sitting around to throw some positions on. So now let's jump over to some of the positions that I have on and what we're looking at. So these are all my option positions currently. I screenshot it, so I didn't want to show you exactly everything on my account. This position, let me grab some yellow here. So this position here, we put on, I think it was the 4th, and you can see we have we put it on for $35. We received $35, and right now it's at a price of $13.05 basically, or $13.50 basically. So what we'll wait on, we only have 5 days left of expiration, so we'll wait kind of for the later in the week. If it gets really late in the week and SoFi pops up, then I'll probably take this position off if we've seen enough decay, and then put a new position on, and hopefully again target around that $30 range. SoFi's kind of been down and up and down and up and very volatile, which is good for options because you can get a higher premium on it. But basically for this one, I'm selling a wheel. So I bought it around $17 and I'm selling at $17.50, which I believe it was around 16, kind of $16.50 all week. So the rest of these you can see in here, these are basically how I set up my strategy. So I'm selling $5 wide put spreads, and basically what that means is as the price drops, obviously these will get more expensive, but I'm selling a put and then buying a put further out of the money, and basically with that I collect premium. So I try to target around $25, which you can kind of see here. If you do the math, this subtracted by this, you've got around $20-$30 in there. And I normally do them about 45 days out. So right now my longest position out is 40 days. So I put on this week actually this position, and you can see my strikes here, so they're very far out of the money. This was when all the volatility spiked up. Basically we had a really good opportunity and I got a lot of positions on for really cheap. I believe I also put on this position here this week, and again targeted around 35 to 45 days out, and collected some pretty good premium there, which again you can see. So, and that's really the basics of my strategy. So that all of these are $5 wide and they're all very far out of the money. These positions, so this one that is up here, we only have 10 days left, so we'll try and get this position off sometime this week. You can see right now we've got about $9 left in this trade. I'd normally try and collect when the trade goes down to around $4 to $5, and the only issue that I kind of run into is I trade on TD Ameritrade, so I do have commissions on there of, I believe it's 65 cents. So that eats in a little bit into my profit, but that's why I try and target down kind of close enough. So I'm kind of, on a lot of these, I'm collecting around $20 to $22, and then I'm basically buying them back for around $4. So you can see in there that's about $18 of profit, and then let's say around $2 in trading fees. So we're kind of around that $16 that I collect per trade. And obviously you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these positions on. So we could do the math and basically see where everything comes out. But we'll jump over to the spreadsheet real quick, and I'll show you guys kind of what I've collected so far. So over here, we've got a month by month. So I've really been trading options for about 1.5 years. And with that, what I did is I started tracking everything this year. So this kind of shows everything that's going on. This is probably a better graph here in red. So you can see how the profit kind of changes. The biggest thing to note is these months are really low. But over here you have the percent gain, so the percent gain is about the same. That's because I've been adding capital. So as I added capital, I collected more money, and then obviously as you collect, or as you have a little bit more money to trade, it does become a little bit harder to maintain some of these higher percentages. So we saw a drop off, and then there was a big pullback. I'd have to check again what stock this is. I think this was Rocket. So Rocket pulled back, and I was trading the wheel on it, and basically I couldn't collect a whole lot of premium with Rocket being so low. So basically that was the issue that we ran into there. And then around this time I also started trading a lot of put spreads. So we see here this big bounce up, and a lot of that has to do with the put spreads that I started trading. And then ever since then we've been a little bit more consistent. So our best month so far is around 250, and then it's kind of pulled back a little bit, in here last month because of the pullback again in Rocket and SoFi that I'm running options on. I couldn't make up some of that premium collected. But overall, you can see down here that we've had a good uptrend, and we've collected around $1,000. And here on the data tab, I actually have all of my trades documented. You can see I traded a lot of AT&T, Dropbox, a lot of different wheels kind of on here. But as we get kind of down in here, like I said, around August, we started trading a lot more put spreads. So we've got a lot of put spreads in there, and then some of the other premium collected from SoFi and Rocket wheel strategy. So again, you could pause it on any of those and see kind of how my trades are playing out. This kind of goes over my account, where's everything at, and then kind of tracks the premium collected and premium by month. And here, this is kind of an awesome thing here. So what I'm doing is tracking basically what my year-over-year return is based off the amount of credit that I'm receiving and the amount of capital that I'm actually deploying on here. So, and then again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm also marking when I'm adding capital to my account. So I kind of stopped adding capital in the last few months. I'm trying to focus and save up for potentially buying some real estate, but basically grew the account up, got it into a good position, and then I'm kind of expecting to make around $200 a month now that I'm trading a lot of spreads on there. So that kind of goes over it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I will talk to you guys next time.